Today, I'm in Samaria, and Samaria used to be the capital of Northern Kingdom of Israel. Let's learn more about what's going on here. And to start with, look how beautiful this is. You would think this is Caesarea or any other Roman city, and it is a Roman city, but it started as an Israelite capital. Here in Samaria, there are so many stories of the Bible about Samaria and so many characters being here in this place. If you remember Ahab, his father Omri built it, his wife Jezebel was here, and the prophets Elijah, Elisha, and many others. And also 4 lepers. What is the story of the 4 lepers? I want to start the story by telling about this wall that you see here. This wall, the path where I'm standing on is on top of a wall. This wall was built by King Omri or Ahab. So we are on the upper city, and there is the lower city. You don't see anything here, only olive trees. But in this city, there were close to 30,000 people living in the time that it was destroyed in 722 BC by the Assyrians. It was a huge city. You don't see anything of that. Why? Because it wasn't excavated. But what you can see is that there was a wall here. So we are in the Acropolis, the higher city. Here was the king and the administration, and the poor people were down there. And we read a story in 2 Kings that there was a very big siege on the city of the Arameans, and they were surrounding the city, and it was so bad that people didn't have what to eat. And then the story tells that the king, and this king probably is Jehoram, even though it's not mentioned by name, was walking on the wall, here where I'm standing. He was walking here on the wall. How do we know? Because he said 2 women, or one woman looked at him and cried out and said, save us. What the problem was, and her friend, they both had babies, and it was so bad they couldn't have anything to eat. So her friend suggested, let's eat your baby today, and tomorrow we'll eat my baby. This is terrible. And that woman agreed, and that's what she tells the king that is here. She agreed, and then the king heard the story, and she said, so we ate my baby, and then when it was turned to eat her baby, she hid her baby. When King Jehoram heard the story of the 2 women who ate the babies, he's so terrified and horrified, and he says, this is Elisha. Elisha is the reason for that. And he goes to the house of Elisha that was here down in the city, and Elisha prophesies to him and says, look, tomorrow there will be food so plentiful that it will be sold in the market for nothing. And the king says, how can this be? And Elisha says, you will see. So the story of the siege continues with 4 lepers. There were 4 lepers that were by the gate of the city. They couldn't come in because they were lepers, and they couldn't find food like all the rest of the people didn't have food. So what did they do? They said, let's go down to the Arameans who put the siege to the base, the military base of the Arameans. Say, let's go. If we die there, we die anyway. If we live, maybe God will help us and we'll live. So they go to the Arameans down there, and they go to the tents, they see no soldiers. They look and search, and they see no Arameans. Where are they all? They all escaped. And the Bible tells us the story that just before that, at night, God made such a great noise like horses and chariots that Arameans, they thought that the army is coming from Egypt and from the Hittite, and they're going to attack them. So they all escaped all the way to the Jordan. And here we have the whole of the food of the Arameans down in the valley. And what you can see here, you can see this theater that was built by Herod, but this theater is built on the wall, and you see up there the wall that was built by Omri and Ahab. So that's the Acropolis there, the wall of the Acropolis, and we are here in the lower city where simple people lived. So you see everything is connected. And Herod, when he built his theater, he used this wall as a construction to put his theater against. And going back to our story, what happened with the lepers? So they go down, they found a lot of food, so they eat a little bit, and they say, let's keep some for later. But then they say, well, what about the people in the city? Don't we suppose to let them have some themselves? So they go up to the city, to the gate, and they tell the people, hey, there is food, you can have food. And the people in the beginning don't believe them, and the king doesn't believe them. But then eventually they go down, and they see all the food, and the city is being saved. And the prophecy of Elisha that in one day there will be plenty of food, that it will be sold with no price, was fulfilled here.